Hello, back with another guitar tutorial. Um, this time I'm doing the song Heavy by the Backseat Lovers. Great song. We're gonna do in depth, all the rhythm, all the lead. So this is gonna be a longer one, but sit tight because it's worth it. This is a great song, and hopefully this can help you learn it. Yeah, I'm mainly just going off like the various tabs that I found online, and kind of, but also sometimes I listen to them and they don't sound exactly correct, so I made some alterations. But I mean, mainly if you want to follow a tab, I just use the ones online. They're pretty good. But anyways, I'm gonna try and split this song into like sections for the rhythm, and then we'll just go through the lead as it comes, kind of. But we'll do the rhythm first. So I'm gonna take us through the rhythm for like the intro, first verse, like bridge slash first solo, and then the second verse, and then I'll kind of break that down. Yeah. So anyways, that's the first chunk of the song. A little bit repetitive, but I think it's really beautiful rhythm guitar. Alternating between like the really low, like this is like a G7 triad down here, and then the higher chords up here. I think is really beautiful. So yeah, the basic structure is we've kind of got these two variations of the same chord, I would say, which is the first one is 7 7 7, just on the highest three strings, G, B, and E, and then occasionally he adds in 7 on the D as well. So, and normally when I play, I'm just barring with my ring finger, kind of like a B flat shape, but on the lower three strings, and then if I need the fourth, get that one too. So that's like chord number 1, kind of, and then the second main chord, and there are really only two like main chords, is this G7 shape, which is 3 2 3 on the lowest three strings on the E, A, and the D. And yeah, he's kind of just going back and forth between those, but then he's adding these like little bass note fills in between, whatever, I guess. So the first one, he starts the song by going 5 5 on the lower two strings, and it's kind of like eighth note for the first note and then quarter note for the second. And that pattern kind of continues. So anyways, yeah, it's a 5 5, and then the shape we talked about only on the higher three strings, and then walk down 5 to 3 with that same like eighth note kind of like swung feel as well, and then you hit that G7 shape, and then so yeah, we've got. Oh, and I'm hitting it with an upstroke. With the G7. I do that every time. then the next little fill is so the other thing is we're kind of alternating for this chord up here. We're kind of alternating the bass notes between 5 on the A and 7 on the E loosely. So this would be an example. It starts with using 5 on the A. So then I know the next one I'm gonna have to get to 7 somehow. He adds the low E string before, so it's, and he actually plays it twice, so it's like kind of like that. The first one's still an eighth note, and the second 2 are quarter notes. And then normally after you hit the 7, I mean, these are kind of like small, minute details that aren't necessarily that important, but normally after you hit 7 on the low E, you're gonna include all 4 of the strings as opposed to just these 3. So yeah, if you want to get it really down, yeah, after this, get all 4 to ring out, and then the same 5-3 walk down, which is pretty much the only one we do for that. So far. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm kind of trying to go quick because it's a long song. I don't want this to be an hour long. Anyways, what's next? Okay, the next one is, so we got to get back to this fifth string root note now. Or sorry, I guess it is a 5th string, 5th string 5th fret root note. And so what he's doing is he hits the open A, and then he slides into the 5th fret. So I'm just sliding from like the 2nd fret, but you can slide from wherever, it doesn't matter. Just, yeah. You can hit it again if you want or not. And again, only the higher 3 strings now because we're on the 5th fret of the A. And then, oh, no, this one's slightly different. And then this one's, so it's kind of, it's 2 8th notes leading into it. Open E, 5 on the E, then down to 3 on the E. And then you hit 3 on the E twice. And then we gotta go back to 7, so open E, and this time slide into 7. And then, so yeah, slide in. And then walk down 5-3. That one again. And that's all for like the introduction before the vocals come in, and then we get into the first verse, which is extremely similar. So it starts again with that open E, or open A rather, slide up to 5 on the A, hit 7-7-7, and then it goes back to there, yeah, walk down 5-3, hit the G7, and then we're going up to the A. Get all 4 strings if you can. And you don't have to get these fills exactly right. Like, you can do whatever you want. Sometimes he hits open A and then slides into the 7 on the E. The only one that's pretty constant is this one. And also you do want to make sure you're alternating between the root note being 5 on the A and 7 on the E. But yeah, like what you actually do in between, as long as you end up here or here, is not incredibly relevant. I highly doubt he plays it the same every time. So where were we? Okay, so yeah, chorus, slide up to 5, hit that, go there. Now you have to get to 7 somehow, so say A, slide up, and then we're going back to 5, only the top 2, and then this is where it gets a little bit different. You're going to slide down from 7 to 5, and then you're going to hit 7, 7, 7, but not including the high E. You're going to hit just the D, G, and B. So that part's like. And then you do kind of like. So it's like 8th note and then 2 quarter notes. And then you're hitting this shape, which is an A7, which is 5, 4, 5 on the lowest 3 strings. And then hit 5 and then slide down to 3. Hit 3 one more time and then strum the chord. So yeah. So the entire chorus. Sorry, I messed up a little bit, but you get the idea. And then we're into the lead part, which I'll come back to and explain. But anyways, before we get there, let's just finish up. So for the, I'm gonna stop explaining like the fills in between, simplify it a little bit. But so while the kind of like piano guitar solo is going, you're still playing. You could still hear rhythm in the background, and it's just the same thing. It starts with the root note being 5 on the A, and you're still walking down to that G7, and then you go up in the root notes, 7 on the E, and you hit the four strings, and then you walk it down, and you basically you're gonna like do that whole pattern twice. So 5 on the E or 5 on the A, walk down to there, 7 on the E, walk it down. That's like, if that's one pattern, you do that pattern twice, the same way each time. And you can mess around with it a little bit, change it up. And then after that, it gets into a verse, which is pretty similar. He kind of stops doing like the lead-in parts. So instead, you can just hit like 5 on the. He still does this part, but there's no like. It's just like. Feels a little like I think I messed up the lyrics, but anyways. So yeah, it starts again with 5 on the A, and then 7, 7, 7 on the highest 3 strings. Still do that walk down. And then this time, at the end of the verse, you're gonna like slide into 5, whatever. And then instead of going back, you're just gonna go. You're gonna hit a little upstroke on this chord, which is the same thing, but you're just adding 9 on the D in the bass. So. And that kind of leads into the like the second solo, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Anyways, hopefully that's a good enough overview of the rhythm. It's really not too difficult, and I think it sounds really pretty. But yeah, now into the lead. So again, it starts with just the rhythm, and then you kind of have a verse, and then it gets into the lead part, and the first lead part sounds like, or my bad. So I'm kind of including some of the piano notes, but yeah, that's basically the lead part. So with the pointer, you're gonna hit 5 on the B, and then you're gonna move up to 7 on the B. Hit it twice, and then you're gonna go 7 on the B, and then walk down 10, 9, 7 on the G. And then you're going to come up to 10, 11, 12 on the B. And then you're going to bend 10 to 12. Kind of like melodic bend, I don't know. And then right after, walk down again, 10, 9, 7 on the G. And then this time, half step bend. I don't know. I think either way works. It's fine. Just bend 9 up and bring it back down. And then you're gonna go 7 on the G, 8 on the D, 7 on the D. So yeah, that whole part. And then I like hitting that again before I get into the next part. This time slide up 5 to 7 on the B. And then you get straight into it. Yeah, so. So yeah, slide up 5 to 7 and then immediately walk down. 10, 9, 7 on the G. And then again, 10, 11, 12 on the B. Bend 10 on the B. Bend and release 10 on the B. And then you're going to come up to 12 on the E. Just quick bend. And then you're going to come up here to this triad, which is 16, 15, 15 on the highest 3 strings. Let that ring out for a sec. And then you're going to come down to this D-shaped triad. So. This is 14, 15, 15. Or sorry, 14, 15, 14. There's one other little fill, like kind of in the first or the second, whatever. I'm gonna stop trying to define like verse, chorus, whatever. Just like in the lyrical part after the first solo that we just went over. It's kind of just like going back and forth between 12 and 14 on the B for a sec. I think it does it 3 times. And then end on that. That's, yeah. It's kind of hard to play this one without without like a band or listening to it. So I'm sorry, the feel is definitely a little bit off, but I'll tell you the notes, and if you listen, then it should be pretty easy to figure it out. This one's not. None of the solos are technical. So yeah. Alternate 3 times between 12 and 14, not like that. End on 12, and then it's, at least what I do, I'm not sure if this is actually right, but I think it sounds kind of cool, is I'm just bending 14 on the, bend and release 14 on the B, then same thing on the G, and then same thing on the D. I slide down to and then I end by sliding from 11 up to 12 and then down to 7. Okay, and then we get into the first solo or second solo, like I don't know. That part. I'll try and play it. Oh, my bad. This one's a little bit trickier, but still not too difficult. So, you're gonna rake your pick, mute however many strings you want, and yeah, rake your pick across them, and then you're hitting the note is 12 on the high E. And then you're immediately gonna slide down 10 to 7 on the B. Then you're sliding 14 to 10 on the B. And then 10 to 8 on the B. And then I do, this isn't exactly right, I couldn't quite figure it out, but it sounds fine. Slide 6 to 7 on the G, and then walk down 8 to 7 on the B. So that whole part is yeah, and then you're gonna go all the way down to 4 on the G, and then you're gonna slide up 4 to 7 on the G, and immediately hit 7 on the B right after. And then, okay, so after that, slide up 10 to 12 on the B, hammer on pull off 12 to 4, or hammer on pull off on the 14 to 12 on the high E, and then you're gonna hit 12 on the B again. So and then again on this note, you kind of want to get some rake. I mean, the actual move is hammer on 12 to 14 on the E. So if you want to just do that, that's fine. But if you can get some rake, that's ideal. So hammer on with some rake, ideally, and then hit 12 again, and then you're gonna hit 11 on the B with 12 on the high E. And then you're gonna slide up 12 to 14 on the high E, and then down to 7 in one move. Yeah. So that whole part is where it's kind of from here. Oh, my bad. And then immediately, so I'm sliding with my middle finger. I'm most comfortable sliding with my middle finger. So after I end up here, you hit 8 on the B and then 7 on the E again. Or it's kind of like that. And then you're gonna come up to this chord. Don't ask me what it is, but it's starting on the G, or starting on the D rather, 12, 12, 11, 12. kind of quickly hit 10-10 on the B and E before exiting. Okay, so we're through that. Anyways, on to the next part. So then it gets into like another 2 verses, I guess you could say. So now we're done with moving down to this chord. Bye bye, say bye. Instead, you're gonna go back again to good old 5 on the A. 7 7 7 on the highest 3 strings. Then immediately to here. Well, I'll play through it once, and then I'll explain. So yeah, that's kind of like verse 2 and 3, and then they're identical, so you can play the same thing for both of them. Yeah. So to explain it again, 5 on the A, 7 7 7 highest 3 strings, 7 on the low E, 7 7 7, but this time just DGB, no high E, muted. So do that again. Now we're moving down to an E, like a normal E chord. 0 2 2 1 0 0. Root note, just hit the open E. Upstroke, yeah. You do that 4 times, and then it's back into another verse. So. And then while the rhythm guitar is playing the E chord down here, there's also a lead part up here that kind of comes in, which is basically just using this shape, which is 13, 15, 12 on the G, B, and E respectively. That's what the lead guitar kind of sounds like. And I'm just arpeggiating the chords starting on the high E, moving down to the G and then, to the B and then the G. And then on the last one, I forget, I think maybe he does it 4 times, 3 times. You slide down 13 to 11 with your middle finger on the G, so. That's kind of what it sounds like. Okay. And then we get into like, I want to say like the chorus part. So now he's kind of done with this like whatever BS. These high voicings. So I'm not even entirely sure if there are chords behind this. But for the chorus, you can play. So yeah, the feel I'm kind of using is just like root note and then strum. Like nothing fancy at all. And so it starts on a D, which is, I mean, to me this register just sounds too high. Like I'm really only focusing on like a D power chord mainly, so you could do that honestly if you want. But if you want the full D chord, it doesn't matter at all. But it's 5 7 7 7. starting on the A string. And then we're coming down to a G again. You could do a G open like this, but I'm trying to focus on the lower strings because I don't hear much high register in this part, so. And then up to a B minor. Again, you could play it down here, but to me, that just sounds too high. That sounds much better to me in the context of the song. B minor, if you don't know, it's 7-9-9, 7-7-7. E minor shape bar chord. Back to the G. Oh yeah, the G is an F shape bar chord on the 3rd fret. Yeah, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. Anyways, so yeah, the first sequence is D, G, B minor, G, then back to the D, up to the B minor, to an A, which is the same F shape bar chord on the 5th fret now. And then down to the G again. So that whole part. Okay, and then we get in, that was a bit messy, I'm sorry. We get into the next solo, which sounds like. Sorry, let me restart. Yeah, that's the next bit. So, we're gonna start 7 on the G. Hold it for a sec. Little vibrato is good. Walk up 7, 8, 9 on the D. Back to 7 on the G. I like to pre-bend here on the 9 to 11. So. Pre-bend, release, pull off. So pre-bend, back down to 9, and then pull off to 7. And then a little quick bend on the 9th fret again. And then this time come down and hit the note again. And then 7 on the G, 9 again, and then 9 on the G again, and then 9 on the D. So that whole part. And then there's this little part in between, which is just 7, 9, 7 on the G. And then you're gonna hit like a little double stop, 7, 7 on the G and B, up to 10 on the B, so. And then back into the pattern again. Walk up 7, 8, 9 on the D. Pre-bend, release and pull off. What is it? And then again, like the little quick bend, and then hit the 9th fret again. And then this time, you're walking up 9, 11, 12 on the G. So yeah, the second part is like. Okay. So this video is 35 minutes long, so this might be a 2-part lesson. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video here, and then I'll make another one that I'll post, which will be part 2, which will be like the last main solo, and then the rhythm parts of the last bit as well. So yeah, but I hope this is helpful, and yeah, the next lesson will be done soon.